Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to City Hall for the official signing of the action plan agreement between the City of New Bedford, the Community Economic Development Center, the Puerto Rican and Latin American Culture Committee, the New Bedford branch of the NAACP, the Human Relations Commission, the local faith community, and Ugly Gallery. The signing represents a milestone in an ongoing process in our city of fostering better communication and cooperation between law enforcement and the community at large. And we thank our partners at the Community Relations Service of the Department of Justice for providing this framework and guiding us along the way. CRS staff, namely Azika Jennings and Muhammad Ali Salam, first approached our office last spring in the wake of the Malcolm Gracia tragedy, offering to facilitate a community dialogue using a tried and true model that has been employed successfully in communities all across the country. The mayor took CRS up on its offer, and with the help of Marcy Pina Christian in our Human Services Department, we began planning for a meeting that took place on November 30th, 2012 at the New Bedford Whaling National Historical Park headquarters. The CRS Community Dialogue model invites representatives from law enforcement and from various sectors of the community to attend a 4 to 5 hour facilitated conversation aimed at engendering a higher level of respect, trust, and communication among various sectors of the community. At the end of the dialogue, the group identifies a set of issues and action steps to address those issues and assigns responsibility to someone in the group for ensuring people in the group for ensuring follow-through. This forms the basis of the action plan, which the mayor and community representatives will sign today and make available to the public on our website and elsewhere. So that's why we're here today. But before we get to that, I would like to invite Francis Amoroso, Regional Director of the Community Relations Service of the Department of Justice, to come up and say a few words, and then Mayor Mitchell will offer his thoughts on this ongoing effort. Mr. Amoroso?
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here, and I want to welcome you all to this very important process. For those of you who don't know, the Community Relations Service was created as part of the Civil Rights Act in 1964. Congress felt when they passed that act that there ought to be some component in the Department of Justice that could help individuals and communities work through conflicts around civil rights without going to court. So we're all basically federal mediators, and we use a wide range of tools in trying to help communities work through those problems. One of the ones that's been most successful is the one that you all have been involved in, a community dialogue where folks from across the community come together, sit down, take a look at what the issues are in the community, and try to come up with some resolutions. What we try to work under, the premise we work under, is if there is a problem in New Bedford, the solution to that problem is not in Boston, and the solution to that problem is not in Washington, D.C. The solution to that problem is here in New Bedford. And what it takes is good people like all of you to come together and to work on those resolutions. You've completed an important part of that process, but the work really begins today to start working on some of those resolutions to bring the community together. And you're very fortunate to have a mayor that's very supportive of this process, because without that kind of support, this just couldn't take place. So I want to thank you all for participating. I want to thank our staff for the efforts they put into it, and certainly want to thank the mayor. And if I can just share a little personal note about New Bedford. I grew up in Portland, Maine. My father was a commercial fisherman, a gill netter, and I grew up working on the fishing boats with him. And I can remember as a young kid coming to this foreign country called New Bedford and remembering coming in the harbor here with, where they wanted to sell their fish off the boat. And those memories are still with me. It's a wonderful community, and what you're doing here is going to make it an even better community. Again, thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. Let me just say thank you first to Frank Amoroso for your leadership in this process and for your kind words about New Bedford. We are a terrific community, and it doesn't mean we're a perfect community. And we become a better and more stronger community if we set about breaking down the walls that separate one of us, the walls that really deny us the kind of unity we need to become even stronger. And what you and your team have been able to facilitate here is really a big first step in making us and helping us make ourselves be all that we can be as a community. So we really appreciate your efforts, Frank. Zeke, it's great to see you again. Thank you for leading us in the critical session that we had down at the Corson building, and it's always great to see you in any event. Mohammed and Kristen, thank you for everything that you did as well in that setting. I think it was what we got out of it was a really an eye-opening experience. In order to communicate well, we have to understand where other people are coming from. I mean, that's just as a general rule of interacting with other people. We need to, if we are to break down those walls, we have to understand. And so, we really appreciate your helping us find that way. Let me also thank from the city Christina Connolly, my assistant chief of staff, as well as Marcy Pina-Christian, who worked very hard from the city's end to facilitate that discussion, as well as the one that we had at the Andre McCoy Recreation Center. They did a tremendous amount of work behind the scenes to make it a reality. I also want to thank the New Bedford Police Department for doing what is an imposition on the department in many ways. When one becomes a police officer, one thinks about going out and getting the bad guys, right? And that's part of the job. The job is much bigger than that. It's really about serving the community in every respect. And we have a police department that appreciates that broad role. And we joined here today by Chief David Provencher and Deputy Chief David Lazat, who set a tremendous example for the force. It is as I've said in other settings, when I was a federal prosecutor, I got to work, I'll get that pen. I got to work with a lot of police departments and a lot of law enforcement agencies, and the New Bedford Police Department is a very, very good police department. And but we can always improve, and we can always, and the leadership in the department knows that if they are to reach their full potential, they need to engage in dialogues like this, and I think the police department got a lot out of it. I want to thank my friend Brian Gomes, who has played a big role in facilitating the police department's interaction with the community, supporting the police department and helping it from the city council's end of things become a better department. Brian is a huge supporter of the police department. But he appreciates the job that police officers do, but at the same time, he has a very full perspective on the needs of the community. So his voice has been a very critical element in all of this. I also want to thank a number of the leaders in our community who stepped forward to participate. Bishop Frank Lobo, Corinne Williams, Reverend Mark Green, Angie Vargas, Jeremiah Hernandez. Let me talk about the document right now. It's in order for it to really have an impact in the long run, we really need to see it as something more than just a piece of paper. It identifies a number of issues that I think we really need to confront square on. We need a better understanding of the employment opportunities for youth and adults in our community. And we have roughly a 70% unemployment rate among youth in our city, and that matters a lot for that matters in a number of ways, but not the least of which, to my mind, is that the lack of opportunities can sometimes strain people's hope, especially young people's hope. And so that's something that we really need to focus on. We need to focus on improving relations between the police and youth. We spoke about that a moment ago. But again, it's really about communicating well and committing ourselves to communicating well going forward. Among the actions agreed upon in the document, and it's available for everybody to see, is that we're naming a member of the Maya community to the the Human Relations Commission. There will be an effort by the NAACP to provide more guidance to youth on interacting with the police. There will be an effort by members of the faith community to explore the possibility of improving and expanding programs in schools that provide positive alternatives for our youth, as well as a promise by the city to continue a dialogue on a range of matters of concern to our youth and to our school system. And there's much more of the document. It's available on the website for everybody to see. But by the way, it'd be remiss if I didn't recognize the important contributions to this document of District Attorney Sam Sutter's office, and in particular, District Court Chief Paul Machado, as well as Cecilia Porche, who played an integral part in getting us to this point. The signing today represents an important milestone in an ongoing process of fostering better community relations and communication between and among various sectors of our people, especially of our community, especially our young people. And the document is, again, not the end of the road. It's a commitment, and it's only going to be worth as much as the effort we put into it. We've come together to agree upon certain principles, upon certain actions, and now it's left to us to step up and follow through on these things. It is appropriate from time to time for us as a community to step back and see where we are and to think about how we can do better. And I think this is the process that we participated in here is an important exercise for any community to undertake. But again, it doesn't end here. We need to follow through. And knowing the players in this room, I have every confidence that we're going to make things better in this community, that we're going to talk better about and with one another. And I look forward to those improvements and to building a stronger New Bedford. So I thank all of you for doing everything you did to get us to this point. We've got a lot of work ahead, but now it's time to sign the document.
I think my purse is upstairs on the bed.
It's not here.
Check the dining room.
No.
The upstairs closet.
Moms everywhere are finding ways to keep kids active and healthy. Get ideas, get involved, get going at letsmove.gov.